everyone, I hope you're all well. We'll do a few more maths questions for this week. So the first one, Hannah puts two sticks together, they make 75 centimetres and one of those sticks is 4 centimetres longer than the other. We need to know how long each of them are. So first thing we have to do is let's take away that 4 centimetres. So now what we're going to do is work with both the sticks kind of being the same length. So we'll take 75 centimetres, subtract the 4, gives us 71. Then we need to split that in two, so we've got the length of both of them, okay, which gives us 35.5 centimetres, or 35.5. So that's assuming that both of them are the same length. Remember though, one of them has to be 4 centimetres longer, so we're going to add the 4 centimetres onto that, which then means that we have 39.5 centimetres for the longer piece, and then 35.5 centimetres for the shorter piece. Okay? And then hopefully altogether that should make 75 centimetres. So if we add those two together, just double check. Wonderful. Oh, fabulous. Okay, so 19, so there you go. 75 centimetres, perfect. Okay, right, next one. Pencils are 35 centimetres long. How many can you make with 5 metres of wood? That's a lot of wood, right? So 5 metres, remember we need to do a few conversions here, so I'm going to deal with centimetres. So remember, 100 centimetres in a metre, so I'm going to turn that 5 metres into 500 centimetres, and then divide that by 35 centimetres to find out how many of those 35 go to the 5 metres. So, I don't really want to deal with those numbers because they're a little bit too big, so we're going to adjust them. So I can see that they're both divisible by 5, so I'm going to do 35 divided by 5, which is 7, 500 divided by 5, which is 100. That for me is much easier to work out now, 100 divided by 7. Okay, so now we can just use the shorthand method and go, okay, well how many 7s in 1? Grants, how many 7s in 10? Goes once, 3 left over, 7 into 30 goes 4 times, with 2 left over, 2 7s. So how many can we fit in there? Well, we have to disregard the remainder, so it's just going to be 14. Okay? Alright, next question. Right, I like these questions a lot, these are quite tricky. So you've got half of a number plus 3/4 of a number equals 70. Now we have to work out what the original number was. So I prefer to deal with this with regards to percentages. So if it's half of a number, that must be 50%. If it's 3/4 of a number, that must be 75%. So altogether, that means that that 70 is equal to 125%. Okay? So, based on that, I need to find out what the whole number was originally. So that would be 100%. So, if 125% equals 70, what I'll do again is I'll work it out and go, okay, well, I'm going to divide them both by the same number. So I'm going to try and divide them both by 5, because I know that they're both divisible by 5. So 125 divided by 5 is 25. 70 divided by 5, let's just double check. So 5 into 7 goes once, 2 left over, 5 into 20 goes 4 times. So that's 14. So I know that 25% of the number is 14. So subsequently, if I want to know what 100% of the number is, I know that 25 times 4 is 100, so I'll do the same thing to that side, and I'll do 14 times 4. So 4 times 4 is 16, 4 times 1 is 4, plus that is 5, so that's 56. So that's what the original number was. Okay? Right. Finally, a little bit of kind of a simultaneous equation. So I'm going to show you how to do this using algebra, alright? So you've got 3 cakes and 2 biscuits are 85 pence, but also we know that 1 cake and 2 biscuits is 55 pence. How much does each cost? So I'm going to write it out as an equation, okay? So for the cakes I'm going to use C, and for the biscuits I'm going to use D, okay? So I know that 3 cakes plus 2 biscuits is 85p, and then I know that 1 cake and 2 biscuits is 55p. So now I can look at this and I can think, well, what can I take away from these to try and get kind of one common thing? So if I subtract these two equations from each other, get rid of the 2b and the 2b, And then if I do 85 take away 55, that then leaves me with 30. If I do 3c take away c, I've got 2c, so that means that 2 cakes must be 30 pence. So 1 cake must be 15 pence. So now that I know that, that's the first little bit done, I now need to work out what the biscuits cost. So I'll put it back into this equation because it's a little bit easier. So I'm going to go, the 1 cake plus 2 biscuits is 55 pence, right? So I already know now that that's 15p, the cake, and then plus 2 lots of biscuits is 55p. So I need to basically make sure that I get rid of that 15p from there, so I'm going to get rid of it from this side as well. So then that leaves us with 40p. So 2 biscuits is 40p, so 1 biscuit is 20p. And if you want to double check, put the values that you figured out, put it back into one of the equations and see if it works. All right, good luck. See you next week.